Daddy. It's ridiculous. No way. There's nobody else out there. He's your guy. Give a big round of applause for the one and only BodkinShow. I'm going to repeat that again, folks. I didn't stutter. Welcome to the Bodkins Show. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another great episode of the Bodkins Show. I am back, baby. It's your boy Bodkins. It is obviously, what a great weekend in sports. Scheffler wins the Masters. We had UFC 300 last night. Oh my God, Max Holloway, Alex Pereira. I mean, that's just the two names off the top of my head. That put performance, that whole card from 5 o'clock Central Time to about 1:30 Central a.m. in the morning Central Time. Your boy was watching all the fights, checking it all out. It was great. Great theater, great card up and down. But nonetheless, it is Sunday, and you guys, sorry we did miss last Sunday. I had to really wanted to sit down and soak in WrestleMania night 2. Enjoyed night 1. So that's the reason there was no last week, just because your boy wanted to sit down and watch WrestleMania. And it started at 6. Show usually goes on at 7. So I decided, you know what? I don't even want to mess with anything. I just want to sit down, watch WrestleMania, enjoy the weekend, enjoy WrestleMania weekend. And it was incredible. WWE knocked it out of the park with, Cody winning, with the whole, Taker coming. You find out kind of that it was supposed to be Stone Cold. Would have loved. They should have just backed up the Brinks truck, because I think everybody's pants would have got a little wet if they would have heard that glass shatter and Stone Cold march down to the ring. But nonetheless, we got the dong, and I was kind of surprised. Like, we expected Stone Cold. They swerve and we get Taker. And then I was kind of listening to some guys too, and they were like, it being Taker. I think the Miz said this actually. The Taker's the guy, the locker room leader, the guy who's always been WWE or WWF, whatever. And then he's always kind of put over people, Stone Cold, Cena, Roman Reigns, and now Cody, like kind of helping. So it's kind of putting over all the younger people of their, so that kind of made a little sense to me. But nonetheless, I don't want to keep our guest waiting any longer, folks. That's right. It is sit down time where we bring a guest we like to, whoever it may be. Sometimes it is the UFC cut man, Brad Tate that we had on 2 weeks ago. Sometimes it is my guy, NFL Outdated. But we go back to Canada. That's right. Hailing from Canada, parts unknown where they get too much freaking snow. Give it up for my guy. He's a friend of the program. He's got a great podcast, but a mustache that tells you that you want to keep your kids away from him. Give it up for host of the Real Fresh channel, Justin Clarke, baby.
Oh, my God. What is up, man? I appreciate you. You keep it real. I appreciate that, man. There's not many real ones out there.
Hey, I appreciate
it. Yeah, man. This is dope.
Hey, it's been a long time coming. The same circles, multiple times. I think I was on your show during football season. So then you were obliged to return the favor tonight to sit down and join me on the Bodkin Show. Fresh, my man, you're a big wrestling fan. I want to get your take. We can start with WrestleMania, and then I want to get your take on the AEW Dynamite debacle.
Oh, yeah. WrestleMania was pretty dope. There was a lot of predictable stuff, but even though it was predictable, they still put on pretty good matches. So we got to give it up to them. And what was my favorite part? I'm trying to think, man. Gunther put on a good match. It was sad that Gunther had to lose his title. I hope he gets in the, heavyweight title picture.
I think that's going to come eventually, right? Like, that's the most logical next step. To me, that's what I thought.
And I really loved, it's kind of skipping into Raw, but I really loved Sami Zayn and Chad Gable as a tag team. Did you see their tag team match on Raw?
Yeah. Now we're on this Monday, one-on-one, it's going to be, versus each other.
Oh, yeah, man. It's bound to be awesome, man. I'm more of a Chad Gable guy. I was rooting for him to win that gauntlet match, but it is what it is. I hope he gets the title next anyway.
You're not a Sami Zayn guy. Canadian zone, Canada zone, Sami Zayn.
I respect Sami Zayn. He's really good. He has all the heart, but Chad Gable just has more of the skill.
I got you. And then what would you like the ending of Mania?
I didn't hate it. Outside of Undertaker, we pretty much saw it coming. You know what I mean? I was kind of rooting for Roman Reigns just to see all the crybabies cry, but that wasn't my prediction, of course.
Same. Hey, we acknowledge here at the BodkinShow is Roman Reigns is our tribal chief. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Of course, now there's a new tribal chief. We'll have to see how that goes, eh?
Yeah, that was intriguing. I like the swerve. You wondered what they were gonna do. It looks like Solo, and is Paul Heyman being bullied into being the promo guy, because Solo is good in the ring, but he's not the guy. And then to bring in Tonga as well, enjoy both. They go with that.
Solo's come a long way. He has a long way to go as well, but he's definitely come a long way.
And what was your thoughts on Wednesday the Dynamite debacle? I mean, the CM Punk video.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, we all saw the footage obviously by now. I mean, it proved a point, but it just also proved a crybaby point. It proved that he's. I've never been a wrestler, but it's my understanding that you handle business in the locker room. Same with NFL, baseball, whatever. Handle your business backstage like men. So he had to prove himself right, but in doing so, he kind of looks like a bitch, you know.
The Young Bucks are Jack.
I'm thinking more of the what's his name, Tony Khan.
Oh, Tony Khan. Yeah. Well, I mean, I always thought Tony was. To me, it made Tony look even worse because remember he said he feared his life, and if you watch that video, I can't figure out any point in time where Tony would have feared for his life.
No, definitely not, man. I could say CM Punk was probably the aggressor, but it was like a one swing type of backyard brawl type of thing.
Yeah, he didn't even take a swing at it. It's not like, to me, when somebody fears for life, when they fear for their life, a gun was pointed at them, a knife, or, maybe getting choked out. I don't know. But I guess me and Tony's fear for life thing is totally different. So Tony's never been a few bars fresh.
That incident was wild, man. That they should have handled that backstage, and I thought they did. And then clearly they're just going to go down that old WCW road. And I don't know if they'll crash because he has all the money he wants. So it's going to be up to him how much money he wants to pour into this thing. But that's the only thing keeping it going.
Yeah, and that's what I alluded to this on the LTS show. We talked about it briefly on Thursday. And I said AEW is making this mistake WCW did is there are just stay in your lane. Don't worry about what WWE is doing. Just do you. Just do AEW, and they put on a hell of a lot of great matches. Just do that. Don't worry about what's going on in WWE programming. We're your own programming, and people will watch because you have a following, and they put on a hell of a lot of matches. I think sometimes their storylines aren't great, and they're all over the place, but their pay-per-view and their matches are always incredible.
Oh, man, we're in a similar boat there. I can't remember what social it was. I think Instagram anyway. I made a post, and it was like, yo, this is a bad look. AEW, I say, wins bell-to-bell matches, which is kind of my preference. I'm not really – I mean, I like storytelling, but I'd rather have a good bell-to-bell match, which is kind of why I'm not a big Roman guy, really. But anyway, we're getting off track. What were we saying?
Saying that the AEW is to stay in there. Stay in there.
Oh, yeah, yeah, exactly. They have the best wrestlers, man. Like Ospreay, man, he's got to be the best wrestler in the world. What is he doing coming out, calling out Triple H, man? You honestly have the best 5 matches of the year. You know what I mean? Like, just go out there and put on a good match. Now, I heard the Young Bucks were kind of pushed by Khan to do that as well. Did you hear anything about that?
I've heard that, and then I've heard a lot of wrestlers. This was an awful bad mistake.
Yeah, I saw a lot of Omega interviews where he's certainly not impressed.
Yeah. I want to back up a little bit fresh. How'd you start the Rail Fresh channel, and how'd you start podcasting, and your reason why?
Oh man, well, me and my wife just were looking for a hobby to do, and we kind of like a lot of podcasts online. We gave it a go. I mean, we came a long way, even though we got a long way to go. We started audio only on our phones, and then we started, upgrading our gear. And then we started just as a podcast on Spotify. We transitioned to a whole network on YouTube. And then we started to find some people who were struggling to grow like us, and anyone who wanted to kind of post with our brand. And we got like 7 or 8 podcasts now, so we got a big thing going here for sure.
What do you do with your wife? That's the Some Pokes podcast.
Yeah, Talk of Tokes. We do a lot of like weed review, munchie reviews, clips and reactions, just like funny stories. It's pretty laid back, chill, Tosh.0 ripoff, you know.
Is that the one you guys initially started with, or did you guys start something different, or like how did it evolve over time?
Podcast, so to say, but certainly it's grown a long way. We just started doing audio of us just telling stories, and we worked in some wrestling. So honestly, our life isn't that interesting to just be telling stories of our everyday life. You know what I mean? So we started working in clips and reactions, and then once we started getting the cameras going, we started working in like, we're kind of burnouts over here, so we started working in some weed stuff, and it kind of seems to be a little niche audience for that.
Yeah, I would say definitely. I mean,
funny tips,
and it's perfectly legal in Canada, the whole country. So kudos to y'all. You're a big Steelers fan. How the hell is you're like all the way which West Canada, right? How the hell did you become a Steelers fan?
I'm on the east here, over in the province of Nova Scotia. The Steelers, I think, I haven't really figured it out, to be honest with you, but when I first started getting into football, it was probably a little bit late for some. It was around high school. There's not a lot of football around here, so there's nothing really to get you into it until you're old enough to see it on TV and understand really what's happening. So I was probably in high school, 2006, 7, and that's kind of when the Steelers were good.
Yeah.
So I think that's what drew me to them at like an impressionable age, and I've just been loyal to them ever since.
You're a Roethlisberger fan?
Oh yeah, his allegations or whatever, but I certainly miss the days. You know what I mean? Those were the golden days.
Yeah. Well, I would tell you, most people would say the golden days were the 70s.
Oh, sorry, bro.
Yeah. I would say most people tell you the golden days were the 70s when they won the 4 Super Bowls. But what's your take bringing in Russell Wilson, Justin Fields this offseason?
I mean, I do like it. The prices were right. I've shit on both those players on our show, Fresh Takes, every Tuesday. I've certainly shit on them in the past, 100%, for being average and being billed as something above average. And now that being said, I'm happy about it because our quarterback play was nowhere near even below average, man. Our quarterbacks were the worst. I was cheering for Rudolph, for God's sake. I was telling him he was the best player in the world. So it's good to have 2 average plus quarterbacks. So, it can only be improvements from here.
Gone is Deontay Johnson. It'll be interesting. What's your take on George Pickens? He seems kind of, a AB type of player.
Yeah, exactly, man. He's got the talent, but he's also got the mouth. So I hope, man, I'm kind of worried about him and I blanket on his name, man. Russell Wilson. I'm kind of worried about their chemistry. Wilson's kind of a knobhead in like a straightforward vanilla way. And then the receiver's kind of like a knobhead in like an annoying wide receiver way. So I'm curious to see how that go. I think Fields might have better chemistry with him, but I think we're going to start Russell Wilson for probably 52% of the snaps, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, I mean, now Mike Tomlin's come out and said it's Russ's job, in Fields number 2. Who are you looking for? They need to take a receiver in the draft. The Steelers always somehow find a receiver if it's not in the first round, but usually later. Is that what they need now going forward, or who else do they need?
Yeah.
Bringing in Patrick Queen is too.
Oh man, if our defense wasn't scary enough last year, man. We have the highest paid defense, I believe, in the NFL. I don't have that in front of me, but I heard that recently. And it shows, man. We got one of the best defenses going, and it only improved. Our offense has improved as well, with the quarterbacks we talked about. as far as our wide receivers, you're 100% right. I can't pretend to follow all the college stuff 100% all the way up here myself, but we do need a wide receiver 100%. I heard some rumors that were shot down today, which was kind of disappointing. I was super pumped on that. I don't know if you saw that. So there was rumors online for like 6 hours of Brandon Ayuk requesting a trade out of San Francisco, and that he wanted to go to the Steelers, and that was like everyone was tweeting that.
I did hear that, and there's
yeah,
so come out and said, "Hey, that ain't true."
Yeah, no. Man, so yeah, we got what's his name? Van Jefferson. He's kind of a mid guy. We do need a pure number one. Pickens is our number one, and he's capable, but he's just got to maybe mature a bit.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, we're going into year 3 here, so this is, you know what I mean. This will be the test. Were you surprised they traded Deontay?
No, I think the Steelers know when to get rid of people who don't really want to be there. I have the same opinion of getting rid of Deontay as I did when we first got rid of Claypool. And, you know, people thought I was crazy for my take then, but it kind of panned out. A little overrated, both guys. Now, Deontay's way better than Claypool, but I'm saying both guys, even in their prime of Steelerdom, a little overrated, man. Deontay has never led us to a victory. He's dropped more passes than I want to even talk about. So he's a 2, man. He's not a 1. So if he wants to go, let him go.
I see. I got you. So you're also obviously a Blue Jays fan. Baseball is kicking off. I know you've been doing a regular Blue Jays. You know, is that just because you Canada or what?
Yeah, Blue Jays got to be a Canada thing. And, you know, back in probably both of our youth, cable was more of a thing. So Blue Jays was right there. So Canada plus cable kind of thing. It was available for free all the time back in the day. So yeah, that's pretty much it, man. But yeah, I appreciate you starting the podcast. It's our first season, so it's my first seasonal podcast. So I'm excited to do that. Flipping the Bird, check it out if you're a Blue Jays fan. But yeah.
What's the hope of the Blue Jays? It seems like they had all this hope, right, when they brought in Guerrero, Bo Bichette, and who's the other kid? Biggio. Like they had a lot of hope, right? Like, oh, we got all this young talent, and it just seems like they haven't done much with it. I don't follow the Blue Jays. It's like, you know, way back in my, but I just, you know, being a fan of baseball, I feel like they've already kind of been a disappointment. What's going on there?
Yeah, we had a little bit of hopes back in the like Jose Bautista, you know, Edwin days, but right now, you're exactly right. And I'll point it out probably just the 2 of the first names you said. We had a lot of hope with Vladdy and with Bichette. I'll say outside of this season, Bichette's lived up to the hype, man. He's been the best offensive shortstop in the game. He's been really cold this year, so I've been, me, I lean into stuff. I've been shooting off about him a little bit this year, but so hopefully, I believe in him. He can heat it up. As far as Vladdy, I don't want to call him the problem because he's an above-average player, but he's supposed to be our number 1 home run, like, you know, ace in the hole type of offensive guy. And people keep
MVP. He's supposed to be the MVP.
Yeah, and he was that for one.
Yeah.
And man, all the Blue Jays fans keep thinking like, oh, he's going to take a step, but it's been like 3 seasons of like 230 hitting. He's never gotten like 30 bombs. So I think we know what he is, man. He's like an average plus first baseman, which is not that valuable. I think we're going to let him go.
Wow. So you think he's gone?
I don't know if we trade him or just let it run out, but I think what he's going to seek is not what he's worth. And honestly, I would like to see him stay if he comes down to realize what he is, which is like a chunky first baseman who doesn't hit a lot of home runs. But I don't think he will come down to that. Of course, you know, his last name's Guerrero Jr., so he'll want to get paid. I think someone will pay him. I don't want it to be Toronto, to be honest.
What is the expectations this year for the Blue Jays? I had them in our baseball preview. I had them finishing like 3rd, I think, in the AL East, and maybe even 4th between them and the Rays. So, what's expectations for Blue Jays, like, fans?
I was more or less in the same boat as you in our preseason type of show. We kind of did like a preseason what do we expect type of show, like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and we had them in the 3 spot as well. But we kind of thought they would fight for that 2, but we thought the Yankees would kind of not let us. But we thought we'd be 2 or 3. So 3-4 is kind of where we are probably at right now with the cold bats and the bad offense. So not much has changed. I think going into the season and even now, we are a wild card bubble team. And I think that's where we are, man. The bats have got to heat up if we want to be a serious playoff contender. They're very cold, except for Justin, man. He's been hitting it hard. But outside of that, Justin Turner, everyone's hitting like 206 or under.
And then, so yeah, Steelers, Jays. What's your other team?
No, that's my top 2 leagues, 100%. I'm certainly the most knowledgeable about those 2 leagues, but if you made me go down the next of the leagues and the teams, Red Wings would probably come in next, but I certainly don't have the grasp of it as I do.
You're born and raised in Canada.
Hey, man, I support the Red Wings. I love the Red Wings. I watch the highlights. You know what I mean? I got the Red Wings gear, but
yeah,
they didn't make the tattoo list. You know what I mean?
So you're born and raised in Canada, a hockey fan?
I'm a hockey fan. It just falls to like number 3 or 4 in my list of things, and with 4 podcasts and sports to watch, and it just tends to fall down there. It's not that I'm not a fan. It's just in my priority and my hours per day. That's just kind of where it lands.
I got you. I got you. Did you grow up playing any hockey or sports?
Man, do you want a good laugh?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, man, I can't believe you're asking me about this, but all right. Growing up, I was a curler, man. That's pretty Canadian.
Like the Olympic curler, like where they fucking do the fucking shit.
Yeah, man. Like 5 days a week. 5 days a week in there practicing, grinding. Thought I was going to be a pro, like, oh, yeah.
They got like professional leagues in Canada, like professional curling.
It's pretty. You would have to be pretty good. It's hard to get there, but you could make a little bit of money. But even the top guys have side gigs.
Oh, okay. What? And so now I'm curious because I've never met a fucking anybody curled. How the fuck do you train for that? And like, what do you do? Other than, to me, it looks like just a bunch of guys fucking could drink some beer and fucking
And it can be that. It can be whatever you want. Back in the day, I was a pretty competitive kid, so you know what I mean. I went pretty hard about it. Man, it's hard to I don't even know what to tell you about curling, man. We would just practice 3 times a week, so it would all depend on what you were kind of weak at. You would just practice your shots mainly, practice your balance, just stay loose. It's not the craziest thing. It's mostly cardio, to be honest.
You got like high school. You had a high school curling team.
Oh yeah, man. Mine. My name's on the wall forever, baby. We won.
Like state or like districts or what are so like in Missouri?
In comparison, it would probably be like districts, I guess, because it's different up here. But.
Okay, so like like for here, like everybody, like all your local.
Yeah, like the county. Yeah, like we went to state, and then we came like 3rd in state or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome, man. So you're like on curling wall. So like, what's like the positions? Because I know a little bit about it, but like I don't know how the fuck. Well, I don't even understand the purpose.
Oh, I'll break it down. It's probably 15 years since I played it, but there's 4 players, man. There's 8 rocks. Everyone gets 2 shots. Obviously, just take turns. You have 2 main sweepers, but of course, whoever's shooting, you rotate them in and out. I was the guy calling the shots. He's called a skip. Other than that, it's kind of like shuffleboard, man. You throw all your 8 shots, and then you count whoever has the most near the middle. I'm just trying to simplify.
Shot? You got to call a shot?
Yeah, like whoever's turn it is would be trying to do whatever I said.
Okay, so you're like, hey, this guy here is going to get like a 6, and then he'd have to get a 6.
Well, there's different zones, but it's just the ring. So I would say, try to get it. Say like the first guy to throw generally throws guards, which is kind of the rings. So he would generally throw guards up ahead of the ring, so you would kind of tap it where you want him to land it, and then you put it. You give him a spot to aim, and then with the rotation of the rock, it's kind of like a pitch. You know what I mean? He would aim it at your glove, but then with the spin, it would go where you tapped it.
Oh shit! That's fascinating, man. So like, don't let anybody ever say, like, hey, when you're like, oh, I wasn't. That's fucking shit. Is like, that's legit, man. I mean, I'm from like, that's just, we don't have that shit here, so that's like a fucking foreign language to me. Like doing any of that stuff.
Well, it's kind of like college football here, man. There's nothing really. That's kind of probably why I don't follow it too hard, is because I never even really followed it till I was in my late 20s. You know what I mean?
Yeah. After curling, so like you won districts. Like, was that the end of the playing curling career, or was like their college involved or anything?
Well, I did outside of school as well. We had a team, so we went to like. I would say we were at a state level, but we weren't at that national level. So we would continuously make the state, but then kind of be in that middle of the pack state level.
Oh, nice. Man, well, I'm talking to all fucking district, all fucking state, whatever Providence, fucking
Province. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. You know, that's awesome, dude. Curling. So, calling the shots. So you said you guys did. What is the cardio involved?
Well, honestly, man, people laugh, and it is laughable. It's funny, but mainly the sweepers, not so much me.
Yeah.
But the harder you push down while you're going as fast as you can, so people don't realize they're pushing down as hard as they can while they're doing that. Yeah. So it's all about the heat and the friction. So that's really where the cardio comes in.
Oh, okay. You guys lifting weights like in the weight room and shit too?
It's just more about probably like runs and calisthenics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, hey, it's
so you guys lean. It was like conditioning. Do you guys have like conditioning like before like season started and stuff?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, we played all year round almost, except for when in the middle of the summer. So we were generally always looking for a tournament, whether it be like a men's league or we did a lot of playing, to be honest with you.
That's awesome, man. My brain's like, holy shit! Like I just like just you guys just out there with fucking somebody out there coaching you guys up and just like, you know what I mean? Like get fresh. You got like a good like, you're the coach. Give us a good curling, ampled up. Like we're down here. Give us your best curling fucking speech.
Well, the problem is, man, back when I was young, I was pretty, I don't even know the word, man, angsty. So it was more the coach talking me off the ledge and then telling me to call a more reasonable shot. So I'd be calling for like
this motherfucker getting 10, and the coach is like, hey, Justin, he's not getting a fucking 10. We've seen that. We've been practicing with this guy all week. He's barely getting a 2. But you're like, nah, man, I believe in my brother here. He's getting a fucking 10. We're doing this.
Hey, man, I believed in my boys, man. They got that fire.
Hey, everybody needs Justin in their life. Everybody needs a Justin in their life.
Yeah,
you're the guy. You're the guy at the bar. His friend is like, "Hey, man, that girl's cute, but she's out of my league." And you're just like, "Nah, man, you got it. You can go get her. You can go talk to her. Back it up, brother. Back it up."
You go to the league you want to be in, man. So you think you're out of that league? That's on you. It's all here.
That's incredible. I want to get back. How'd you get into wrestling?
Honestly, man, wrestling caught my eye as she's probably, single digit age, 4, 5, 6-year-old. My parents didn't like it, so you're sneaking to watch it.
Makes you want to watch it more, right? Makes you want to watch it more.
Oh yeah, same with like Dragon Ball Z back in the day. They didn't want to watch any of that. Simpsons. Anyway, it was always fun sneaking stuff in the quiet, but man, wrestling, and then it always stuck with me, man. I like personally. I kind of teased this a little bit earlier, but I like the art of the match itself. And I need the art to be stiff and believable as well. So the violence and the stiffness is part of the good match for me. You got to be safe, but you can't be looking soft.
So you like so Gunther is probably a guy. Lesnar to me, I was always a big Brock Lesnar guy, due to the fact that He's a legit, you know what I mean? He was in WWE and then went to the UFC and then back to WWE. But it's like, well, this guy, he's fucking done it all. You know what I mean? Like, so, and he makes it look real.
Oh, it was very believable, and sometimes he would slam the shit out of people, you know what I mean? So he certainly wasn't afraid to lay it down. I was more of a fan of Brock Lesnar back when he was still working on expanding his move set. Do you remember back in the day when he was doing like shooting star presses?
Oh yeah. The shooting star press where he damn near broke his neck against Kurt Angle. Yeah, WrestleMania.
He also would do more than his standard 3 moves. You know what I mean? He would try to be a wrestler about it. Certainly, I still like him now. He's certainly still believable and all that. But back, it was kind of more interesting to me.
I got you. Always. So you like a Bret Hart kind of guy? You always like sticking with the Canadians? Like, you know, see the Kevin Owens show.
I mean, if we're going back to the day, you know, I mean, back when we were kids, certainly a Bret Hart fan. More of a Stone Cold Undertaker probably fan back then. If we're going more modern. If we're going nowadays, I'm probably into people like Gunther, Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe. I certainly like some luchador styles as well, but those would probably be my top 3 right now. Penta Zero Miedo, he's up there for me.
I'm Will Ospreay. Joe, but I'm all in on I'm all in on Swerve next Sunday at 8. Yeah, you know.
Did you ever watch Lucha Underground?
No, I never did. Never got into Lucha.
Oh man, him as he was Killshot in Lucha Underground. I don't know where you can find footage of this, man, but if you can dig it up, he had the best matches of his career. That was the first place I ever saw him as Killshot. Some of those Ultima Lucha matches was basically their WrestleMania, Ultima Lucha. Man, off the chain, man. I seen people like rip his back, like his flesh was peeling off. Like he had some of those hardcore matches there, man.
Man. I think it used to be on Netflix at one time.
In the U.S., yeah.
So hey, there's a hand right there because I think it still might be there. So,
it might be in there, man. I might have to use my VPN and get in there.
That's awesome. I want to so real quick. Go ahead and because I'm going to make you do a dog and a turd of the week to get up out of here fresh. You know, that's my in the segment, but so I always let the guests know I told you ahead of time, but I also like putting people on the spot. So give me your but like go ahead and give those plugs in. And what other shows you got? We got the wrestling show, we got the Tokes with the wife, and what else we got?
Hell yeah, man. Thanks a lot. So you can find it all on the Real Fresh channel. So just search the Real Fresh channel. We should come right up. All our podcasts are right there. You can kind of check the description, but me personally, Mondays, Talking Tokes. It's like a comedy stoner one. Tuesdays, Fresh Take Sports. I would say we cover all professional sports, mainly NFL. Now I'm doing Flipping the Bird. It's the Blue Jays podcast. And then every Thursday, I do the Wrestling Corner. So if there's a pay-per-view coming up, I do predictions. Or if there's not, I kind of do like a Raw Dynamite recap type of thing.
It's all good stuff, folks. Make sure you check out my guy, Fresh, who puts out such great stuff all the time. Go ahead, Fresh. You want to give out your turd of the week first, or do you want me to go first?
Oh man, you know what? I'll give out the turd, man, just because I just thought of it off the top of my head here. I'll admit to being unprepared, but my turd of the week is going to go to Tony Khan for putting out that footage, man. I kind of clipped out my podcast and kind of called it the worst Dynamite ever. Kind of leaned into it, but it was definitely the dirtiest episode ever. You didn't need to be airing out your grievances, you know, your dirty laundry on national television. It's still unclear to me who exactly wanted to air it and who didn't, but one thing is clear is Tony Khan did want to. So my turd of the week is going to go to Tony Khan.
Yeah, I think actually I'll keep it right there. That's that big old turd of the week. I'm right there with you, Fresh. Is Tony Khan and AEW. Whosever idea that was to put the video out absolutely backfired on you. Again, just stay in your lane. Let WWE, and let AEW do AEW things. So I'm right there with you, Fresh. AEW does rule to fangirls. YouTube. I'm not gonna lie to you. They got some great shit, but that video and all that Dynamite was awful. Turd of the week. Go ahead, Fresh. You got a dog of the week.
Dog of the week, man. Well, I just thought this off the top of my head as well, but I'm going to roll with it. I'm not sure who's familiar with him, but I'm going to go to the Blue Jays and my boy Barrios, man. He's supposed to be our number 2 or 3 guy, and he's our number 1 guy. He's got like a 1.0 something ERA this season in 4 starts. My dog of the week, and you can go dog of the year for me for Blue Jays anyway. It's going to be Barrios, man. He's holding it down for us hard.
Yeah, my dog of the week, Fresh, is a guy who was a dog on the card last night. And this man said right here, right now, in the center of this icon, pointing at Justin Gaethje, and knocked Justin Gaethje out with 1 second left. I mean, such an incredible of fights. But the lasting images of UFC 300 was my man Max Blessed Holloway pointing at the ground. So here in the middle of this octagon, knocking out Justin Gaethje, and which was incredible, one of the greatest knockouts of all time. Max Blessed Holloway is an absolute dog on the dog of the week, dog in real life. He said best. He is him.
I 100% agree with you, dude. I was lucky enough to watch that as well. You're certainly more of a hardcore UFC guy, but I'm a UFC casual. I was glad to watch that, man.
What'd you think? As a casual, we kind of mentioned it before. You've asked me a few times what I think, and you said your brother's a diehard. Thoughts on UFC 300 last night?
Yeah, my brother, he has a boxing gym of his own at West there, and he's an MMA guy. So I looked to you and him, honestly, for all my takes. That BMF belt, I was kind of making fun of it as a casual, as a belt to be trying to get.
Well, I mean, even as a diehards, we don't like the belt either. We just like the match.
Well, that's good to know. That's good to know. Now, if you're going to be putting on fights like that for the belt every time, I'm for it, dude. That knockout the last second, him falling forward on his face, dude. They're both BMFs, man. Oh, first,
yeah.
I forgot, man. Why did you think of 2 eye pokes, no point deduction as a hardcore?
That's usually standard. It was not like on purpose. It was just kind of on accident, right? So, like, it is what it is.
And both eyes up, damn.
Yeah. It would be different, I think. One, if it's not Max Holloway, where Holloway's one of the nicest guys in this, one of the like a true mensch, true gentleman, and a legend in this sport. Not known to be a dirty guy at all. So I think you got to take that in consideration, and you know what I mean. Like, and he recognized that's on me. I didn't have a problem. It didn't need a point to. That we ever needed it. We're going to need it anyway.
Yeah,
whether we got the
point. Gaethje was a BMF himself, though. Props to him for that heel kick or that spinning kick at the end of the first round, I think it was.
You knew it was going to be a long night after. I mean, it's hard to fight when you can't fucking breathe. So, I wish that my only wish to the whole UFC, and I'll complain about this probably. Old and grayer, is start the day hard earlier, man. I shouldn't be going to bed at 1:30 in the morning Central Time. So you guys on the East Coast, it's even earlier. Yeah. Oh, so you're like 4 hours ahead. So you're not even East Coast time. You're like 2 hours, an hour ahead of East Coast.
Yeah, I'm an hour ahead of East Coast. I'm even more East than East Coast time.
Oh shit!
Yeah, so and I got like a 5-year-old
in the morning. Kudos to you guys. Kudos to anybody that stays up, because sometimes I'll be on the vitamins, and man, I'm ready. I was glad Alex Pierre knocked Hill out in the first round, because I didn't know how much time I had left in me.
Oh man, 300 kept me alive. I admit, I watched the last probably 20 or so, not fight nights, but the actual numbered events.
Yeah,
and not all of them keep me awake till 3 o'clock in the morning, but 300 did the trick.
Yeah, it's got sometimes I'm like depending on the fight, like I'll go back and watch it in the morning, or I'll just kind of look at it a little bit. Like, hey, is this fight even worth me rewatching? Because sometimes it's not. But last night I sat down from 5 o'clock, the very first fight, and then all the way to the very last fight, watching.
I was locked in for the prelims myself.
Yeah, early prelims all the way on. I was locked in. That they did a incredible night, but like I said, to me, the lasting image of last night was Max Holloway pointing down at the ground and just being like, "Hey, let's do this, yeah, man." Just
and that's because someone else who was also hard, man, was homie getting hit in the whats and then knocking him right out.
Oh yeah, Alex Pierre. Yeah, he got hit in the dick. Herb went to go break it up. He's like, "Nah, I'm about to kill this man. Just hold on." All right.
Boom. Right, that like, that like, if it wasn't for that BMF fight, that would have been the moment of the night, and that's a pretty good moment.
Yeah, oh, yeah, definitely. You're exactly right. And then doing this afterwards, like the whole.
Yeah. Like, see.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to me, anytime somebody talks a lot of shit, you either got two things. You enjoy what either they're going to back it up, and Hill was talking a lot of shit, or when they up Cummins, the other guy who hasn't, Pierre never says anything, just let actions do it. And, like, oh, you're going to remember this.
Sure. I understand, promos might sell fights these days. It's kind of turning into WWE in these little, press conferences, but it tunes in more eyes, I guess.
Yeah, it is. You got to sell. Sometimes you got to sell the fight. Sometimes the fights sell themselves. Like she and Max, they didn't need to say a whole lot. That fight sold itself. You know what I mean? Like we all knew it delivered. Like it just delivered.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I can't wait to see where each fighter goes. Like I said, but don't on the card to me, Max Holloway. Is that your wife? That's your wife. That's your lovely wife. She's the only person in the world that loves your mustache. I've told you before, that's a mustache that says, hey, this is supposed to say 500 feet away from the schools and stuff.
Hey, man, speaking out of my league, man, I did all right.
Yeah. Hey, so did I, brother. So did I. That happens every once in a while. You get lucky.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. One day back off.
Fresh, I appreciate you coming on. One more time, go ahead and tell the people where they can find you. And it's been a long time. I hope we can do this again, brother.
Oh, anytime, man. Your show, my show. You're always welcome. Open invite. Just go to the Real Fresh channel, man. That's my YouTube. It's also the socials, X, Instagram, TikTok. But YouTube's the main place. All our podcasts have a description. They're all on the homepage. Check them out. We got comedy. We got sports. We got it all, man. Check it out.
Yeah. Hey, I'll be back tomorrow night on the LTS show with all the guys. We'll talk a little of the matches. The NBA playoffs are upon us. We'll look at a little bit of that. Plus, we have Jim Behringer on talk all the hockey with Lord Stanley Cup coming. And obviously some wrestling. And then Jonathan will talk a little baseball as well. So we all know, hey, Fresh, I got to ask you here. Otani's guilty, right? Like he shit.
Oh, man. I had people coming after me online for saying he was guilty, man. Like, oh, believe him. And it's like, why, man? I know it is if I lose $20.
And I say this, and your wife, is she still watching? At first, I was like, Otani can't be married, right? Because if $40 out of my account mysteriously misses, my wife is going to be like, hey, where'd this $40 come? Where'd this $40? Where'd you spend this $40 at? Did you spend this $40 extra dollars? And this man, and then now he was married. Otani's married. I'm like, there's no way his wife is letting $16 million or whatever it is just disappear and not say a damn word. Nah, he's like, baby, I'm gambling. She's like, okay, whatever, that's Otani did it. I mean, come on. The people who are like, believe Otani, same people who are like, believe the U.S. government. You fucking shouldn't.
Man, if it smells like fish, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. If it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, it's a fucking duck, my friend.
Yeah. Man, it's not like the biggest cover up for the biggest baby face in the company. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, that's what I said. I said Major League Baseball's already had a shit ton of scandal, like scandal after scandal after scandal. And they can't have their the best player who brings in most money sit out for any sort of time for gambling. Can't have it. They don't want it. Hey, you're gonna take the fall. That guy's not even getting prison time. I've heard. Like it's what I've been told. So he's just. Oh,
I think no matter what happens, I think Otani and the Dodgers and MLB will take care of him just okay.
Yeah. He's gonna be sitting all right. Yeah. He's gonna. Hey, like I say, everybody's got to have a. Chris Carter told me that one time. So yeah. Anyway,
one hand's dirty, bro.
Yeah. Anyway, I will be back tomorrow night, 8:00 Central, 9 Eastern for the sports show. Please tune in. Be a friend, tell a friend, folks. This has been another great episode of the Bodkin Show. We'll see you tomorrow night. Be a friend, tell a friend, like, subscribe, share. Well, I'm going to hit that outro.
Peace, bro.
I find it.
Thanks so much for joining us, and until next time, let's talk sport, friends. Thanks for watching.